Gina, how are you? Can you hear me?
I'm well. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well.
How are you?
Very well, thank you so much. Good, glad to see you. And welcome to my Life Immortal podcast. And
Happy to be here.
yes, thank you so much. And as you already know that it's Life Immortal is an app that I have in the space of organ donation. Basically, what it does is it creates a platform where common place where the recipients and donors of organ, transplant can interact and can match and find organs and coordinate and communicate in safety while knowing the proximity of the other person on the other side, and then can make an audio call, video call, and then set up appointments with doctors and everyone. So it's basically creating awareness. This podcast is creating awareness for the app as well as the organ donation process, because there are a lot of misconceptions and issues involved as well, and myths as well. At the same time, this is also a way to promote and create awareness for recipients who are looking for organs, and people who would want to get accustomed to this lifestyle and helping others, and and then convert. And it's like a soft empowering way to invite more people into this circle of influence. And I see that you have a very augmented, niche, so to say, that not only you're into holistic well-being as well, but also with regards to transplant and recovery, and that you have been a recipient yourself as well. So
Correct.
unleash and let us, enlighten, with your journey and how it happened and your story, and then your conversion to this fitness, expertise.
Sure, sure. Thanks again for having me. I'm happy to be here and help you to promote this very important app. It is difficult to believe that there has been nothing out there yet like this. So it was definitely needed. So I'm uh, really happy to share about it.
Okay.
My journey began 31 years ago when I had a kidney transplant. I guess it was a little before 31 years. I was going to a urologist for a different problem, and he did an x-ray of my kidneys in the course of his workup and discovered, actually, he wrote in my chart because I had to take my records to the nephrologist when he referred me. He wrote in very big bold letters, underlined, bizarre, that my kidneys were bizarre. So when I went to the nephrologist and he was looking over my records and he did his own testing, that's when he told me that I would eventually have to have a kidney transplant. He said, they worked for the first 20 years of your life, and, they might work another 20 or they might not. And unfortunately, they did not. But fortunately, I was, in my mid 20s at the time. So I was young, I was super healthy. And both of my parents were matches. So between them, they decided that my dad would donate one of his kidneys, which he did. And he told me he gave me his best one. And so then off I went to the races, and I was just kind of thrown into this world of major surgery and a major, condition that I had no previous illnesses or anything. Had I not been going to the nephrologist at the time,
Right.
I wouldn't have known. And I might have had to go on dialysis. I was so lucky that I was able to catch it
Wow.
in advance. I never had to go on dialysis. I mean, we literally kind of scheduled, hey, when do you want to do this? Your numbers are low. Okay, it's time to kind of schedule this. So that's what we did. And My dad was young and healthy as well, so all of that worked out. And and then here I am today. It kind of I also believe that not only did I receive the gift of life, right? And I had a live related donor, which is also super beneficial. So I was very fortunate in that regard as well. But I like to say that had I not had the transplant, I might not have been into the world of wellness and keeping up with my health as much as I am had I not had that, because everything I do, even 31 years later, is always keeping my kidney in mind. And everything I do, I want to make sure that I am protecting my kidney. So I do a lot of research. I've looked into so many things over the past 31 years, trying to see what's best for me so that I can keep my kidney as healthy as possible.
Yeah. I mean, I think the greatest and the most luckiest part is that it was from your dad.
Yes,
The and dads are like, their love is way more unconditional to their daughters than anything else in the world. And
right.
like you said, the strongest one, he gave you the strongest one. So,
That's what he says.
oh,
So
well,
far, so
yeah,
good. I think he must have been right.
right, absolutely,
Not like
yeah.
he had, not like he had a choice in the matter, but
No, no, I'm saying that it's full of love because and it's evident in your healthy and lucky life, and yeah, so that was the most important aspect because as you are into this wholeness and well-being journey as well, you might acknowledge the power of spirituality and the quantum entanglement and all these consciousness things that are arriving now, where we are
right.
going through attention deficit disorder. So
Hmm.
coming it from your dad was bulletproof and and magic bullet at the same time. So
Yes, yes, indeed. So a little help from him and then a lot of help from me, right?
yeah,
Because, a lot of people receive kidneys. And I remember meeting someone who had a transplanted kidney and just, they tell you, no, you're not. I specifically remember this. You are not to get drunk. And I remember going back to work and telling my bosses this, and they're like, you can have one drink a day, I think is what they told me. And my boss was like, well, can you save up all 7 drinks and, for the week and drink them all at once? And I said, no, he specifically said you cannot get drunk.
right, right,
But this person that I was talking to had gone back, to smoking, and then, the kidney started to reject. Not that that happens to everybody,
right,
but I don't want to take that chance.
right, right.
So,
So, but
yeah.
your did not reject, right?
No,
No,
no.
yeah, because
At
it's
30,
in DNA. Yeah, yeah.
right, 31 years with the same kidney.
Right, right, right. So yeah,
Right.
it's
So I have a lifelong goal of being the longest lived kidney transplant recipient.
okay, okay. And what is
That's
that goal?
whatever it is.
Oh, okay.
I met a guy in one of the groups the other day. He's been transplanted for 47 years. So I said, "You're my hero.
Right, right,
I'm right
right,
on your heels,
right. So tell me, on your dad's side, how did he fare in this entire process?
He did very well. He did have to end up taking blood pressure medicine, I believe, at some point.
Yeah.
But other than that, he's very healthy today, and yeah, it's been great. I love that people ask about my dad because he is still alive and he is very healthy.
Yeah, because habits keep on paying beyond fortunes because it's part of the habit journey is from before conceiving and then after the that those are the gifts that keep on giving.
They
Uh,
do.
yeah, so and it's win-win because it's good for you and good for him as well. then good for your kids as well, and then the entire family. So I'm getting really glad. And then blood pressure is like, I also take blood pressure medicine, so that's not, it's an age-related thing. So you know, whatever we accumulate from the society, it shows up in the blood pressure, anxiety and everything. So
That is true. Yes.
yeah. So that's that. Okay, so tell me this transformation, because like you mentioned yourself that in India, Pakistan, Pakistan. I'm from Pakistan, so
Okay.
over there we had a movie in which very famous movie in which the hero had to donate his kidney, and then he had to let go of his soccer career. So tell me about that. Is that a myth, or is it how? What is the reality, or what is the truth? With your knowledge and research, and then into this wellness journey.
So he had to donate.
Yes, he had
He
to do.
donated a kidney. Is
Yes,
that what you're saying?
yes,
And
yes,
then wasn't allowed to play soccer?
yes, because
Well,
of the soccer
what
player.
I was, well, I don't know about what happens with the donors.
Okay.
I can tell you that when I was transplanted, they did tell me that I could not participate in, contact sports,
Okay.
like boxing
Right.
and,
Uh,
these other things where, and karate, where you might be kicked in your stomach
Okay.
because and I was telling this to somebody the other day, and I guess sometimes I don't realize when you're talking to people when I'm talking to people that if they're not, if they know nothing of the transplant world, right?
Right.
It's but so your kidneys are in your lower back, and when you get a transplant, it then sits in your stomach. So
Right.
this is why you're not supposed to do contact sports,
Okay.
anything where you can be kicked in the stomach.
Got it.
But as far as the donors are concerned, I'm not familiar with that.
Okay. Okay. Because one of our, frequent guest on our podcast is Brian Roberts, and he is a kidney donor, and he explains the importance of keeping a bottle near you of water all the time. Make sure the supply is, yes, yeah. See? So yeah, so that's important. So I guess then like you mentioned, because in soccer as well, for example, in Ramadan we fast, and then when I was young, I remember that sometimes I forgot, the body gets immune, and you forget to drink water altogether or hydrate yourself with fluids, and then you drink so much of these sweet drinks or sodas and other stuff that the signal of thirst goes away, and but your body is
Yes.
bloated. Yeah, so then
Yes.
it gives a backache, and later I realized, because I was into martial arts as well, that
Okay.
it is related to kidney and less about the backache, like you just mentioned.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, correct. That's
yeah,
so interesting that you mentioned that about the hydration. I literally made a post about that today
okay.
because again, in one of the kidney groups, somebody had posted it was a repost from somebody else, but it was kidney friendly sodas.
Oh,
Well, that title alone is that's no there's no such
very,
thing as
yeah,
a
yeah,
friendly soda. Like
yeah.
the big thing was they didn't have any sugar and they didn't have was it phosphorate? I can't remember what the other one was, but even still, if the sodas are sugar free, they have other additives and chemicals to make up for that fact.
Yes, of course.
So I stopped drinking sodas and caffeine like many years ago. I haven't had a soda in so long. I feel like it would be too sweet for me now
I,
if
I just
I
I
if
just
I
don't
drank it.
I just don't like it.
I don't like it. I
Uh,
used to, my go-to was Mr. Pibb. I used to love Mr. Pibb, and very few restaurants served
uh,
that. But yeah, I don't know that I could drink it today. So, there's so many other things you could drink. You could drink, they were saying, water gets boring, blah blah blah, but it's so good for you.
yes.
You could add lemon, you could add cucumber, you could, you know, infuse it with strawberries and oranges like they do when you go to
Smoothies,
the
yeah,
spa.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
could drink seltzer water and, pump
You
that
can
up
drink
with
hot chocolate, you can drink mocha latte, you can drink green
yes,
tea, you can
green teas,
chicken
herbal
broth,
teas.
beef broth. I mean, there is a
Yes,
world to discover. I mean, electrolytes and
yes,
smoothies and so many
right.
fruits and juices and banana shakes and protein shakes. So this is just I mean, I remember when I was again 18 or 20, used to play cricket, and that was a whole day game. And then but I was very very reluctant about eating because I was so engrossed in the sport. And then I remember that I whatever money I had, I used to just drink cola and all these sodas, and it used to kill my hunger at completely.
Mhm.
Later I realized that this is a dangerous thing. I was
Yes,
young, I could handle it, but the counterproductive thing is that I'm not feeling hungry, which is dangerous. So
right.
the passage of time, and then again, like such as like yourself, when you educate yourself, then your body and your brain rewires,
Yes.
and the body follows suit. So it's a beautiful journey in the sense that I in 2002 I read the book of Sylvester Stallone called Sly Moves, and in which he mentioned that he basically was campaigning of banning all these soda drinks, and
Mm,
now we can see that they are now diverting their interests and investments towards this vitamin water and all these, which is
right,
a different zero sugar is even more dangerous in many cases, like you just mentioned that
right.
kidney friendly soda. There is no carbonated drink that is friendly.
I know. I was like, but this is a horrible post.
Yes, absolutely. I
There's no
mean,
such thing.
yeah, I'm just shocked that all these Prime and Red Bull, how is it even legal? Because the kind of caffeine it has, I cannot
Agreed.
sleep for 2 nights. I mean, if I, I say it's based on my experience because when I used to go out, I did not drink because I don't know, for some reason I don't like the taste of beer. Sometimes I like espresso, margarita, and stuff like that,
Uh-huh. Uh,
fancy things, girlish drinks, so to say. Uh, but because they don't taste awful, Uh,
yes.
and so I used to, instead of going that side, I tried these Red Bulls, and my God, that was draining energy. And then I could not sleep for nights. I could not properly sleep, and sleep is, as you might, as a wellness guru, you would know that sleep is the elixir of life. That's the most valuable thing in life.
Yes.
And more, more
100%.
than anything else, sleep is everything. So
Yes.
yeah, so that's where I realized, and then also I see these youngsters and even friends of mine and other people that they cannot wake up without a coffee shot, or I don't even drink coffee as well, and they actually have the first thing they have in the morning is Red Bull.
Oh,
My God. So
I don't know how people do that. I mean, I do drink coffee in the morning. I have 2 cups of coffee first thing. It is a mushroom coffee,
right.
and it is decaf.
Okay.
So, and then I drink it as bulletproof. I don't know if you're familiar with that, where you add the MCT oil and the butter.
Oh, okay.
So I use grass-fed butter,
Wow.
and the MCT oil is good for the brain. So I've been doing that for like, gosh, I don't know, 10 years now. Once I found
Mhm.
out about how the MCT oil is good for the brain,
Great.
I'm pretty fascinated and focused in now on brain health
Okay.
as well. I mean, it's all connected, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Um, but I just finished this brain longevity training um, course certification, and I'm really excited to start sharing information about that. And,
You should start a podcast with me. Please, about brain. because the thing is that, like, because sleep is basically, you're putting your brain to rest, basically, close
yes,
your eyes.
and
And
that's how it detoxes your body and your
yes,
your brain, and
yes.
that's what sleep does.
And talking about brain, I believe at this point that studying consciousness and, like I mentioned, quantum physics, this entire life is a simulation, and this simulation is based on whatever is going on in your brain. So the same thing that looks awful to you is a dream for somebody else.
Yes.
Brain is, and then the signals, and then the telepathy, and then going on to, a great tangent would be astral traveling and things on different level and paradigm and dimension altogether. But again, it all start, and even abundance and manifestation, all these things, they're all brain related. So stronger the brain, the more equipped it is to handle adversities, as well as staying in. I mean, I see Nancy Pelosi, and she's speaking at 85 years age, and I want to eat dark chocolate every day. I started eating
I
because
love
she's so
dark
proud of
chocolate.
it.
That's
Yeah.
that's my other thing that I do, right? I don't eat refined sugar. I mean,
Uh-huh.
I'm human. Every once in a while, I'll have refined sugar, but generally, I don't eat refined sugar anymore. So I use honey and 100% pure maple syrup. Oh my gosh, if you've never had 100% pure maple syrup, not that crap they serve in the grocery
Yeah.
store. I went to Vermont last year for the
I mean,
first
I
time.
was about to say the
First
Canadian maple
time.
syrup. Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah. I still
and
have it.
I worked at a maple farm and it was
Oh,
incredible. I got such the education. It was amazing. I have a new appreciation for the price of maple syrup because it's quite the process.
right.
But yeah, and I also eat the dark chocolate. My doctor suggested many years ago 85% or higher.
Mhm.
So it's a bitter chocolate, right?
Yes.
But once you're off of, and this is what I discovered, once you stop eating that refined sugar,
Hmm.
that stuff that's as addictive as cocaine, right?
Yes.
The dark chocolate is so rich.
Yes.
It's so good.
Yes.
I just had a piece before coming on
Yeah.
and like I love it.
Yeah.
It's amazing. But if you're still
This is
eating,
this is my dark chocolate thing. If you can see, this is the Kisses,
uh-huh.
the dark version of dark chocolate version of Kisses.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
It
yeah.
doesn't let me indulge more than, because once you start chocolate, then it's very hard to stop.
Well, but if so it's funny because so I was still eating the refined sugar when I tried the bitter chocolate for the first time, and I was like, "Whoa, that is right." And as especially in America, we don't eat a lot of bitter foods other than coffee,
That's
right?
right. Like
And
grapefruit.
yeah,
Yeah.
and so I was like, "Yikes, this is I don't know if I'm going to be able to eat this. It's too much." But
Yes.
then when I stopped eating the refined sugar,
Yeah.
it was very rich and it's so good. Like
Yes.
I
It,
said.
it makes you alert. It just makes you
Yes.
feel really good for no reason. You don't know what's happened. I mean, what happened so great to me today. But it's just that it's the effect of dark chocolate, and also with hot chocolate as well. You can control the amount of cocoa you want to put in it, and cacao,
Right.
and then the control the type of milk you're using, like coconut milk,
Yes.
the regular milk,
Yes.
or so.
Yep.
I mean, my one addiction with refined sugar is that in the British tea, the English tea, English
Uh-huh.
tea, that's what we drink back in Pakistan,
Okay.
because of the British influence. And so I tried this brown sugar, and then honey, and but nothing tastes as good as the white refined sugar. And
No, did you try maple syrup?
I did actually, yeah, but
Oh,
again,
okay.
it
Okay.
just gives a twist to it, uh,
Yeah.
because maple syrup. I mean, I love it with pancakes, especially.
It's good in your coffee too.
Okay.
In Vermont,
Uh-huh.
they put maple syrup in literally everything.
I mean, yeah, of course you
Everything.
can. You can, yeah. You can. And the quality of maple syrup I got from there was like amazing,
Yes.
and it goes on forever because nobody else uses it, so it's great.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. So yeah, we discussed chocolate, and again, very important. Like for example, you mentioned about water. Like I said, you mentioned in fact that we take water so much for granted, and we always want to substitute. But just I drink filtered water, and the taste itself is so amazing after filtering it that you can't switch back to regular tap water. I
It's
mean,
true.
And it's just this Culligan zero water filter, and it's just a jug and a jar, and just minor changes in life, and it feels so good. You don't know the
Hmm.
reason of your happiness, but what can be more better than feeling joyful without any reason?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. I love it.
yeah,
And yeah, you don't have to have a reason. And it's about making small changes
yeah.
too, right? So like if you are drinking sodas, and you're probably addicted and can't go off cold turkey. So if you're drinking like 4 sodas a day, try to cut it back to 3 and then 2 and then 1. And you
Right.
know, my mom did that with us when we were younger, with the whole milk.
Yes.
She was trying to get us down to 1%, and so
Huh?
she would mix half
Right.
and half whole milk and then the 2%, and then slowly we were drinking
It's
2,
very
and then she would
universal for
mix.
That's
Yeah.
universal for mothers everywhere in the world.
And now it's gotten even better. I wish I had known some of this stuff when I was raising my daughter, but I never ate avocados when I was younger. We didn't eat avocados, and their avocados are amazing now.
Amazing.
We eat them all the time. And I found a recipe for a chocolate mousse made with avocados. It
Wow.
is so good. And when you share it with people, like they're like, this is good, but it's a little bit weird. There's something about it,
Uh-huh.
and then when you tell them it's avocado, and that's like, oh, okay. But it's literally just avocado, cacao,
Right.
and I use coconut milk because
Okay.
I try not to drink the dairy, and some maple syrup,
Uh,
and then you just whip it and then add fruit on top. It's amazing.
I mean,
So good.
I don't believe in God, but my definition of heaven is pina colada, coconut. So this is the one thing that in all forms I like it as well. And with avocado, for some reason, I my body does not accept it, and it's not high end allergy, but it's so much. I think it's a good way of the same thing that I feel with alcohol that or coffee that makes
Hmm.
me jittery. And so I think it's too much fat for me to process. So if I
Mm.
eat small portions of avocado or the pre-made guacamole,
Yes, yes.
that's a great breakfast snack as well.
Yeah, yeah. I 100%. When the avocado toast came on scene,
Oh,
I
yes.
was like, oh, I am all about that. And we just left a coffee shop that was making the avocado toast, and
Okay.
they had, um, I think it was like some sort of sprouts on
Okay.
there. It was so good. Everybody does it a little bit different, right?
Right, right.
And so I like to take, what everybody else has done,
Oh,
and so I can do it at home
yeah.
myself. So,
So you have to basically, try it and then, reassemble it.
yes.
I really like the Dunkin' Donuts avocado toast as well.
Oh,
Uh,
yes, I've had that one.
Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of standard, and because and also it's with the brown bread as well, so it's really sumptuous. And like you mentioned, I also just like I do with alcohol, I just drink it when it's free. I give soda to my kids when it is part of the deal in McDonald's or Burger King, which where we go really rarely. So
Uh-huh.
tell them, okay, come on. As long as you don't pee on the way, drink as much as you want.
Whatever works, I
Yes,
guess.
yes. So, but yeah, I don't bring anything at home like they say, don't if you don't.
Right, right.
Just,
And
yeah,
and that's what I did too, right? So we would only have soda out.
yeah.
I'd never kept it in the house because if it's not there, then you won't eat or drink it, right?
I mean, there is one ginger ale, big bottle lying there for almost maybe from last summer, because everybody is scared that whoever opens it, they will have to drink all of it.
That's great.
So just there, and, just reminding us of staying healthy and making sure that you don't want to waste it. So tell me about this from there. you went into this taking it to the next level and into the high end side of things in the wellness paradigm. Explain the transformation there.
Yes. So as I was, doing all of this research and finding out all of these things about how to be healthier, like for instance, like I shouldn't be drinking sodas and, I shouldn't be eating fried foods and things like that, like just even the basic high level stuff.
Right.
I wanted, like I was sharing it with my friends and family. I'm like, did you know?
Yeah.
you know, and just like in the past, what, 5 years, I've learned about the dangers of eating seed oils.
Right.
That's really big right now in the health
Right.
and wellness.
That's
So
right.
this is what I mean. I'm continually learning because the science is
Beautiful.
always changing, right? And
And number one, science
and
is there is always work in progress. Sorry to interrupt, but it's a lifelong love affair. You
it
keep
is.
improving.
It is. It
Yeah.
is lifelong, and I'm really enjoying it. I have to say, I wasn't like super excited when I was in school, but now that I get to learn about things that I want to learn about, it's so much more
Yeah.
like fun
Yeah.
and fascinating.
And
So as I
yeah, yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. Sorry.
so as I started learning about this stuff, I just naturally wanted to share it because I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys need to, my parents were drinking sodas. I'm like, you guys should really stop drinking sodas, and stop snacking at night. And then, learning about glucose. And so then, I kept wanting to share and just, by nature. And then just earlier this year, actually, I decided, what am I doing?
Hmm.
Like because I was helping with people to manage stress, right?
Hmm.
I had a corporate job for 33 years that I left last year,
Hmm.
and I just so I stress is a big deal, and it's like
Yes. Yes.
75%
Yeah.
of the issues that people go to see their primary doctor for due to stress.
Oh God.
um, and like stress is the common denominator for many ailments.
I found a solution, permanent solution for stress.
Oh, do tell.
Stand up comedy.
Yes, that is a stress reliever. That is true. That is,
Initially I was watching every morning, and it gave me extreme willpower, and you just have fun the whole day. And then finally last year I started doing it, and I think that was the best thing that I ever discovered in my life. I mean,
you actually do it yourself.
yes, I do it myself.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
You know what? I'm totally going to use that because I discovered at some point in time when I was getting ready in the morning, I would always listen to the news, to find out what was going on in the world. But
I,
really, what I discovered after a while was that it was really depressing.
yes.
And so I finally just I turned it off. In fact, I got rid of cable when I was still
Same
living
here. Yeah,
at
me too.
home.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And I started listening to podcasts,
Yes, absolutely.
which, so, to feed my brain instead of, like kind of
I mean,
kill my brain or
I
whatever.
I saw in the election campaign that Obama said that I don't watch cable news. I said, "Come on, man, I watch it because of you, and you don't watch it. Then why should I watch it? You know?" So then I
Yes.
disconnected cable, and then my anxiety and like you mentioned there,
Yeah.
and on the flip side, when you are going into these comedy shows, there are a bunch of idiots. They are all laughing for no even for no reason. But that is also so good for our brain.
Yes. Yes. But I love that. So instead of like watching the news in the morning and, doom and gloom, watch
Yes.
a comedy show. I love that.
Yeah, just the sound of those laughter is so empowering.
Right.
Even if you're
Right.
not actually listening what they, because sometimes you have to pause
Yes.
what they're saying. But
Right. Right.
yeah, because there is all therapy, laughter therapy as well, where they go into a park and everybody's laughing for no reason.
Right.
Itself is funny as well,
Yeah.
laughing for no reason.
And
Uh,
it's contagious.
yes, it
Like you
is.
can't help like but go in and
Exactly.
yeah.
So there I found the solution for my stress because as you grow old and your energy levels go down, and it's natural that that depression and stress and anxiety takes over. So one thing is to stay healthy because that's how you stay on top of your game. But I
Right.
totally agree. So how did you manage stress?
So
Because the
I
problem
do
with stress is that it translates into your sleep as well.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
So big on stress and sleep,
Yeah.
right? That's kind of what I was teaching and
Right.
still do. It's just now that I teach it to transplant recipients.
Mm.
So I've just become, I'm like, why am I just teaching this to, corporate executives? My people, I'm 31 years post-transplant, and so I should be sharing this,
Right.
with other transplant recipients, not just kidney necessarily.
Right.
So, um, but yeah, I learned several years ago about essential oils. I was introduced into that world,
Hmm.
and
Yeah, I saw on your
lavender,
website. Yeah, essential oils. Yeah.
uh-huh,
Yeah.
and just love that how, because it's plants
Uh-huh.
and so it's natural, and I just love how the essential oils can help you lower stress or manage stress
Okay.
and help you with sleep as
Right.
well.
Right.
Various different
Uh-huh.
essential oils that you
Right.
might use. I also became a yoga teacher, and
Oh,
so
great.
I use yoga to manage stress
Breathing.
and
Breathing is
and
another key.
breathing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep, I was going to say the breathing and meditation. I also am a big proponent of being outside,
Yes.
right? So when you were talking about energy earlier, and it's like if you just go and spend 20 minutes outside in nature
Yes.
with your, bare feet on the
Bare feet on the
ground,
grass. Yes.
that
My
is
morning. Th-
such
this
such
is my earthing mat.
nice,
Yes.
nice.
Yes.
I'm reading. I'm
Yes.
reading his book.
Right. Oh, great, great. I saw that documentary as well. Yeah.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
think I saw it. I'm not sure. I'll have to go see if I
It's
can find it.
amazing. It's a life changing, and again, it gave me a new lifeline because the moment you touch 50, the entire society starts looking at you that you are no good for anything. With this, it's like you get electrified, sort of.
Yes, the
It's
electrons from the earth.
whether it is concrete ground or earthing mat, and then I also couple it with red light therapy as well.
Yes. Yep.
Yes,
Got my
absolutely.
red light.
Oh, great, great.
It's little.
This,
This saved me so much.
this my red
Um,
light is a panel, if you can see it.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I
This helped me so much.
yeah.
Last year when I was in Vermont, I also worked on an herbal farm.
Oh, great.
Fabulous experience. Yeah,
Wow.
but I've never done physical work. I've always been at the computer.
Right.
So my back was sore a lot. And I had an hour drive to and from the
Hmm.
farm.
Hmm.
And so when I would leave the farm, I would have my red light on my
Right.
back.
Yes.
And then at night, when I would lay down, I would have it on for like an hour. And then next morning, I was okay.
Right. Absolutely.
So
That's what
I'm
happens. Yeah. Yeah.
a
Yeah.
big proponent of red light therapy for pain now.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, even for just for example, like I mentioned, stand-up comedy. So you have to be really reflexive and sharp with your wits and
Yes.
responses.
Yes.
So if I don't do red light therapy, then I forget the jokes.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And same as like you mentioned about going into the nature. It's not just ground, it's the trees. You get vibes from the trees as well.
Yes.
And you feel good for no reason. For example, Vermont, the Rocky Mountain areas, and the forest and everything is just so
Hmm.
refreshing. Although it's a little cold for me, but although I'm in New York, but still it's close to Canada, so just the mental pressure of being close to Canada is also more,
Yes.
cold. But I
Right.
fully agree with you that all these things, and again, like you mentioned, that science is always a work in progress and never conclusive. But you can never go wrong with herbal or essential oils.
Correct. In fact, you were talking about so for people who can't be outside as much, especially, in the really cold weather,
Yeah,
which I'm not, I'm from Florida in the US, and and we're traveling around right now. I do not like the cold.
yeah,
So we actually left Vermont before it got really cold because I don't want to be in the snow.
right.
But for people like me who don't like to get out in the winter, though I do try to get out even when it's cold, just to shock my system, because I
Right.
know that's good too.
Right.
There is an essential oil called Shinrin Yoku, and
Mm-hmm.
Shinrin Yoku in Japanese means forest bathing.
Oh,
And so you can get the same effects from using this particular essential oil. I actually used it last night because it was raining all day, so I couldn't be outside. And so I brought the I brought the forest bathing inside. It was
oh,
great.
that's great. I mean, that's the reason probably I find people in Burlington more happy and friendly compared to New York.
Oh, really? People in
Yeah.
Burlington are happy and friendly?
Yes, because Burlington, I mean, in Vermont, you know.
Yeah, no, I know. We
So
were
yeah,
there.
yeah.
That
So,
that was our least favorite city.
okay. I mean, compared to New York, everywhere it looks more
Well,
friendly.
yes.
You know,
Yes. Yes,
it's,
compared to New York, yes.
everybody looks
They
kind.
people
Uh,
in Vermont are very friendly and willing to give you the shirt off their back.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's right. And like for example, we were in LA and they said, "Oh wow," they were like very. I said the Los Angeles people are really nice and very. Really, they say that we are very rude. So they asked us, "Where are you from?" I said, "We are from New York." I said, "Oh, now it makes sense because we are on the top of the rudest list." Uh,
Right,
no,
right.
we
That's
found the
funny.
LA people much more friendly because, again, it's because of the stress. It's about because of the traffic. It's about the concrete
Well,
jungle in which.
that's the other thing that in Vermont, that's what I noticed. Because again, I'm from Florida,
Mhm.
really bad traffic,
Yeah,
especially now. Like post COVID,
yeah,
the the population in Florida like doubled or something. It
yeah.
was crazy.
I-
In Vermont, like I said, I was 60 miles away from this herb farm. If I was to travel anywhere in Florida 60 miles, it would probably take me 2 hours. It
More than
took
that.
me
Yeah.
exactly 1 hour.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
So
Same
the
here.
traffic, they
Yeah.
have no traffic and you're surrounded by mountains. Of course, those people are friendly.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when we were there, it was just post-COVID, like January 2021,
Uh-huh.
and although everybody was skeptical with mask and everything,
Right, right.
we were out. It was super cold, but even then, and at that point of time, people hated New Yorkers even more because they thought that they're bringing the virus here because Vermont
Yes,
was clean. And
yes.
but even then they were like, we were skeptical about telling them, where we are coming from. But we were New Hampshire and all these places. But the point is that it definitely this holistic journey really pays, and like you mentioned, this maple syrup or nature that
Yes,
doesn't need any endorsement from science because we just feel good.
you just do.
Yeah.
And I love that, so many of the holistic, hacks, so to speak, are free,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
being out in nature, putting your feet on the grass,
On the
that's
grass.
free.
Yes.
Learning how to breathe properly.
Yeah.
A lot of we weren't it seems funny at first if you're not used to it
Yeah.
to say, well, of course I know how to breathe. I don't have to think about it, but there is a proper technique to breathing.
Yes.
And most people breathe in their chest, which is not correct. You're supposed to breathe in your belly,
Diaphragm. Yes.
and you can get more breaths that way too. A lot of people, so when you're breathing in your chest, it's that shallow breathing, right? When you breathe from your belly, and it takes practice. I mean, I still practice it a lot. Mostly when I'm in the car is when I really think about it. Unless I'm talking about it, then I think about it. But yeah, it's a practice. But you can get there.
Yeah. And
But
again,
it's free.
yeah, and also it's free and also is something to look forward to and improve upon. This vocal coach,
Yes,
when you're talking, just make sure your belly is going in, your diaphragm is going in. So it's just
correct.
whether it is public speaking, whether it is singing,
Yes,
whatever, comedy,
yes.
it just really helps. So, and again, for example, back in the day about smoking or cigarettes and
Hmm,
soda,
hmm.
and now they're saying it was wrong, and they used to say that it's healthy, it's good for thinking, and style.
Yes, that's crazy, right?
Yes, and same thing I forecast about today. The video games. I think they're becoming
Hmm. Yep.
addiction.
Yep.
and it's the reason Gen Z and even younger ones, they are facing this mental health crisis because
Yep.
as you might know that our attention span is now 8 seconds. 1 second more than
Hmm.
goldfish. So
It's
and then
crazy.
yeah, just 2 years ago when I started working on an app, another one, which reclaims your attention span, it was 40
Uh-huh.
seconds, and now within 2 years it has gone to 8 seconds, and I don't know. Um,
Wow.
TikTok,
Well, and not even just for kids and the video
everyone,
games,
everyone.
like
Yeah.
just adults,
Yes,
but
everyone.
social media,
Yeah,
if you go, oh, I'm just going to go and look at my daughter's, post, and then you get sucked in and it's an hour of your life is gone.
that's right.
It's
And
it's so bad. And you're right, the mental health crisis like globally
yeah,
is I mean, it's a crisis
it
now.
is, it is, it is, it is. It is.
COVID didn't help, keeping everybody apart from each other and um, out of schools and stuff. That I
Right.
think that was a sin. That just awful. But yeah, we need to turn it around. So
Absolutely.
that's that's what I'm on a mission to do. At least with the transplant community.
Yes. So
Um,
tell me now about the because your transformation is like you told me that how you were kind of forced into a situation where you
right.
were conducting research and you were improving upon things and you were trying and they were working. Now tell me about how you brought it in context of because that's your specialization.
Yes, yes. So I help transplant patients to optimize their well-being
And before
and
before I want to
ah,
congratulate on your daughter as well, because there is also a lot of misconception. We have another frequent guest, Jennifer, and she got a liver transplant as well. And she was told that she won't be able to conceive, but now her daughter is like 18 years old, 20 years old, and yeah. So tell me, so
well,
congratulations on your daughter as well. Was there anything related
well,
to
thank
as
you.
well? Yeah.
Well, so yes, with respect to that, I got pregnant probably like within a year,
Okay.
like pretty soon after I had my transplant. My transplant team was not very happy with me. So I had to
Wow.
see a high risk OB, which I had great care from my OB as well. But my doctor told me that there was a slim chance for me to be able to get pregnant before the transplant. So I thought that was interesting. But
So you
apparently I was
you defied
fertile
science.
myrtle after that.
You defied science because you had the stronger kidney.
That's right. That's right. That strong kidney was like, all right, let's have babies.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And
So
then
yes,
you,
so
you
she's my
basically
only.
defied what the doctor was prescribing. So it's so the proverb that you should sometimes not listen to your doctor.
Well, so that's kind of, I hate to say like don't listen because so I wouldn't be necessarily where I am right now had it not been for the transplant. So modern medicine has made some great strides,
Yeah.
and and I think it's good for um, what's the term for acute
Hmm.
um, things, but for chronic, I don't think we do such a great job, and especially in the U.S. So we have the best healthcare system, and we are like third to the last in illnesses or something. So that doesn't correlate. So something's wrong, something's missing.
That's right.
So, we're good at emergent medicine,
Right.
but not, we're not good at well-being.
Right.
And why? Because there's no money.
Right.
I mean, let's be honest, you know, so many people are on even more than one medication right now. And there are so many things that you can, even in psychiatric. I was following a woman who left her psychiatric practice in New York and now teaches, how to recover from those particular diseases without medications. Medications just make it worse.
Yes.
I don't know of any medication that doesn't have side effects. I'm on two medications and they both have horrible side effects, so that's the other thing that I'm helping people do is to manage these side effects, right? But it's a lot,
It's
and
like
and
a quick
that's
fix. It's like a quick fix for the time being, but the problem is
right.
that
We're
uh,
not getting to the root cause.
yes, and like for example, in Japan, if you want a free train ride, just do 10 sit-ups, And that's what I tell my daughter as well. If you want the iPad for 15 minutes, you got to do 15 sit-ups, you know. So
I love it.
yeah, so the thing is that and then I'm sure you would although it's a different podcast altogether, this Ozempic crisis, you know.
Right, right. Yeah, I don't know a whole lot of that about that, and it doesn't seem that great to
I mean,
me
my
though.
my best friend is like the number one doctor, cancer doctor in the US. His name is Sayyid Ali Abu Talib, and he told me that I told him I was again made a joke on make a comedy routine on that
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
busyness and this Ozempic thing. It's I told them my joke is that it's like Batman is trying to fly with the cape.
Yeah.
That's Ozempic, and he's already told me. And I said that 10 years from now there will be congressional hearings and blah blah blah. But he told me that's it's already happening. People are getting
Yeah.
cancer
Yeah.
already.
Well, I didn't even know about the cancer. I there was some influencer out there who got osteoporosis or something
Oh,
because it's weakening the bones. And
yes.
she's like in her 20s. She's in
Oh my
her
God.
early 20s. And she was taking it, and she was already thin, but so she's got other mental health issues, in my opinion. But um, to be thinking that she needed to take Ozempic when she wasn't overweight, even.
Yeah.
So,
Again, this is a sad thing,
but
and
yeah,
yeah, and again, I would like to invite you to my Attention Economy podcast as well, because there are so many fads going on, and we get influenced. For example, you mentioned that she was not even overweight, and just because of the trend, and just like an ice bucket challenge.
right.
This kind of, for
Yes.
example, the other challenge was they were inhaling this cinnamon powder, and that there were a couple of deaths because they just went crazy on it. So I would like to invite you on that as well, because your knowledge and information will be really helpful, because there is so much revolving on internet without any checks and measures.
Right. Right. And
Mm.
this is the danger,
Yeah.
right? I mean, technology is great because it's allowing us to have this conversation, for
Yeah.
instance. But there's and
And your
I
knowledge source, you did your research, and it has a lot to do with all this earthing, and then red light.
right.
This is also that we have accumulated this knowledge from this online thing. But
That is correct. That is correct. But I research things. Like there's something new that I'm actually looking into right now for my boyfriend who has some heart issues.
okay.
But I like to do the research first, and I like to see what's going on, and not just try things willy-nilly because I saw it on Instagram
Right.
and everybody's doing it.
Right.
That's not how I operate. Again, I come from the mindset of I'm here to protect my kidney and keep it healthy. So what can I do? What are the best ways? And like we said, the science is always changing. There's so many cool things. I'm so into the biohacking thing. I
Yes.
love it. I love that there's all
Ryan
these
Johnson, yeah, and chocolate,
new,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
just even with the red light therapy, right?
Right.
And just it's incredible. And
Incredible, yeah.
hydrogen water and just all
Same
of these
here. Yeah.
things.
I got two hydrogen bottles as well, and one is not working, so I'm
Right.
planning, yeah. But hydrogen water, it's amazing. And,
Right.
and the most beautiful part is that there is no end to feel, you can feel as good as you want as you keep on, going along with this journey, and,
Agreed.
learning more stuff. For example, for your boyfriend, I would like to share that there is this lifestyle, eating style where you eat from head to tail. And then they say that whatever part of your body that you want to improve, you just eat that part of the animal. And then have these caps, this natural supplements of made of beef, the cow's heart. And yeah, and suddenly because I do take blood pressure medicine, and
Uh-huh.
yeah, so I have this supplement, and like I said, I feel invigorated for no reason, and it's natural. and I tried eating just like kidneys or liver in chicken. Started eating beef heart as well. So that also
Hmm.
kind of improves, because again, we this Chan Zuckerberg initiative, they are working on seeing transparently through the body, just like a scan or something like that. So our body makes up in terms of in style of 3D organ printing or something like that, that whatever we are consuming, it goes into specific areas of our body, and it empowers it. So that's another, you mentioned, you learn stuff, but then you try stuff, and then as long as it is natural and organic, you don't need the scientific endorsement, and it usually works.
Right, right. Well, so that's the thing, going back to what you said about sometimes don't listen to your doctor. And
Right.
so sometimes that's true. And the doctor, so the thing is, he's not in your body,
That's right.
right? You're in your body. You know what's good for your body. And so, yeah, I've done things that I haven't gotten, permission from
Yeah.
from my doctor to do because, it's my body. And you know, I'm paying him for his advice and he's going to give me advice and I'm going to take it or I'm not. And but ultimately I'm going to do what I want to do because I feel that it's right for me. So
I mean, I listen more to ChatGPT than my doctor, because it has more. Because my doctor is always concerned about not losing his license, and he's always looking at
right.
the computer. So I said
Yep.
I should myself look into the computer instead of my doctor looking into the computer, and he's scared. And there's, like you mentioned, there's so many side effects of things that there's no point.
Right.
And
Well, and the doctors again, they don't get trained on nutrition. They don't get trained on how to, so they're covering they get trained on how to cover, how to cover the problem, how to put the band-aids, which is the
right,
medication, right?
right.
You have a headache. Oh, well, here, take this pill instead of getting to the root problem
That's
of
right.
the headache, you
Yes.
know?
Absolutely. I mean, also, like you mentioned, that it's the entire process of basically understanding how to disconnect ourselves from the usual recommendation, because and then the issues of big pharma and prescriptions and that kind of business, and so it's all entangled, and again, for like you mentioned, the same medicine works differently on different ethnicities as well.
That's
you know
right.
like you mentioned that your body, likewise, different races feel different impact, and even the effect of food, based
Yes.
on, again, our ancestry, and based on
Hmm.
the climates that we are coming from. So there are so many moving targets, and yeah, but again, it's like a puzzle, and I love it.
It's true. It's true. I agree. And I love what you said at the beginning about it being like a simulator. I think that's a great analogy. I've never heard that before.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, because it's all based on our own perspective, and it may one's nightmare is others' dream. So we have to keep adjusting. And the most beautiful thing about wellness and health, and like you mentioned, they don't teach. They give you some. I mean, I did this Cornell course at my daughter's school, and it was amazing in the sense that how nutrition and just eating everything from all food groups, and then just the process of cooking is so empowering, because we are forced into this idea that cooking is only for women, and eating out is something stylish, and this is status symbol
Hmm.
and stuff like that. But ever since I bought my instant pot, my life has changed.
We have one too.
Yeah.
It's therapeutic and as well, I think.
Yes, of course it is.
It's empowering and therapeutic,
I
if
mean,
you
for me,
really focus on it.
yes, for me, doing laundry is therapeutic.
Right.
No,
That's
I
that whole mindfulness thing,
yes,
focusing. on just the one thing. And yeah,
And then you're
the
thinking about,
mindfulness.
like, for example, when I'm designing an app, I start designing, and when I'm stuck, then I start cooking or doing laundry or doing something else, and
Right.
come
And
back
then
and I
it
have the
pops
idea.
in.
Yes, exactly. So it's actually
Right?
therapeutic. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, I
So
agree 100%.
absolutely. So, do you have any specific recommendations for wellness course that you offer for people who got a transplant?
I would say, definitely nutrition is super important and sleep.
Okay.
I think, especially in this go, go, go society that we have today, it's like, oh, I'll sleep when I'm dead,
No way.
no, that like you won't live, you'll be dead sooner than you
Right,
than
that's
you
right.
want to if you have that mentality.
Right.
I think it's slowly starting to change
It
and
is. It
people
is.
are understanding. And I used to get ridiculed for, going to bed earlier and not staying out late with people and stuff because I had this routine. But your
Mhm.
body actually likes routine,
Yes, that's right.
so I would say try to stick to, a routine as much as
And
possible
also,
as well.
circadian rhythm is extremely
Yep.
important. I
Yep.
mean, I don't go to late night mics, and my friend also, they get, like you mentioned, they get, really bitter about me not, like, for example, if we have done three shows and then there is this last, after, I said my mind doesn't work after 11, and
Hmm.
then I will become awful for people who live with me. So the next day. So, and for myself as well, I just don't feel good for no reason. So,
Right.
so there is no need. I mean, even on weekends, if
Right.
I
Right.
can, then I would go to sleep by 11. And then it's an option if I'm watching something interesting or something interesting going on, but making sure that I'm in my bed by then. And then also all the activities, because again, like you mentioned about grass, you mentioned about red light, sunlight is as important. And our biological clock is attuned with that
Right.
for thousands of years.
Yes. Yes. We need to get back to that.
Mm.
Right.
That's right. And then mindfulness,
We've got,
again, is part of it. Bringing it all together with
yes,
mindfulness is extremely important. I'm also into yoga and Zumba as well, and swimming. And again, it's a never-ending journey. And like
it
I,
is.
it's like a puzzle, and it's a game, not a video game, but but
Indeed.
yeah,
Indeed.
just trying to hack the algorithm, and like you mentioned,
That's
by
right.
it's amazing. So, Gina, thank you so much. I think my audience will deserve another round with you, and sometime in future. And I would like to invite you for a
Okay.
attention economy as well. But thank you so much, and it was really nice talking to you, and your knowledge, especially in context of organ donation and transplant recovery and the wellness journey, is really empowering. Would you like to share your website where people can find your this wellness program?
Sure. It's Gina Marisa. So GINA MARISA .com.
Okay,
It's
that's
pretty
great.
simple. It's just my name.
Okay,
And thank you so much for having me. I've really, really enjoyed the conversation. I always love talking to like-minded people. I'm on a mission to spread
right.
the word about how you can live a holistic lifestyle. It can be integrated into, the allopathic way. And I'm grateful for your app. That would have been nice to have years ago, but it's here now, and I'm sure it's going to help so many people.
Sure. And I hope you like my extempore questions. I did not have anything planned, because because my
No, it
curiosity.
was it was great. It flowed very well.
Because my curiosity is with your journey, so whatever you tell, and then I am just a curious bug, and curious bee. So my questions pop up wherever I have queries in whatever my guests are telling me. Because for me, it's my personal passion as well, and then it's like a win-win for everyone as well, because it's recorded and has now become, it will become part of the YouTube history, and everybody can
Mhm.
access it and learn from it. So thank you once again. And I will see you next time on my Attention Economy podcast. And probably if there
Awesome.
responses or if there be any requests for more details, because we covered a lot in this
We
time.
did.
Yeah. And I was thinking of maybe 45 minutes, but we are more than 1 hour. And because you have so much to share, because 31 years of transplant journey, and then your research and your quest for finding the answers beyond what is prescribed by the doctor.
Right.
So,
Correct.
yeah. So, yeah, thank you so much. And I'll see you soon in the near future.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.